Hey, I've got a question for you guys.
What?
Do you think donkeys can talk?
No.
I think donkeys can talk.
No.
I like the word donkey. Don't you like it? Can you say donkey?
Donkey.
It's a good word. Well, there's a man, his name is C.S. Lewis, and he wrote, ever heard the story of the Chronicles of Narnia? Well, he wrote a story about talking animals. I think donkeys can talk, but let's read the story together. I wonder, if animals could talk, what would the donkey who carried Mary to Bethlehem have to say? What do you think? I don't know. Yeah, I know the actual story doesn't mention a donkey. And as far as we know, animals don't talk. However, we know Mary was pregnant and that the trip from Nazareth to Bethlehem would have taken days, a long trip. We also know donkeys were often used as beasts of burden for travelers, means they carried a lot of weight sometimes. If I were Joseph, I would have done whatever I could to provide a donkey, a strong donkey, for the pregnant love of my life. I would want her to ride rather than walk on a long journey. Wouldn't you want your wife to walk or ride?
Right.
Right, of course, me too. Whatever you think, just for fun, let's imagine there was a donkey. His name was Jack, a good Jewish name, and he didn't normally talk to humans. Jack was tired, hangry. You guys ever get hangry? Yeah. Hangry means when you haven't had enough food and you're tired, when you get a little grumpy. Anyhow, Jack was tired, hangry, and not feeling his best after hauling a very pregnant woman on his back for days and days. The exhausted donkey found himself tied up to a post in a strange and rather cramped barn of sorts. All Jack wanted was some peace and quiet. Jack can't help but notice that something is going on. What do you think? Joseph is stressed and he seems angry or frustrated. He's complaining to Mary about their less than acceptable sleeping accommodations. The tired donkey listens in with curiosity as Jack says under his breath, "Humans, they could be such fickle creatures." Joseph is pacing back and forth, back and forth. What is wrong with that miserable and grumpy innkeeper? How could he put us in here with the animals and the dung and flies it? Mary raises her hand as she interrupts Joseph. "I'm okay, I'll be fine. At least we have shelter from the elements and some clean straw to rest on." Clean? Seriously, Mary? Jehovah only knows what disgusting animals have drooled all over this itchy, flea-ridden straw. Joseph. He stops pacing for a moment and looks at Mary. "Yes, dear. We are here, we are safe, and we are together. But you deserve far more than this filthy donkey stall." Jack shakes his head and hee-haws a bit as he whispers to a nearby sheep. That hurt. You guys ever had a donkey hee-haw? Hee-haw. Well, Mary looks restless too, and then she grabs her side as she bends over a bit and groans. Oh, Jack can smell it. He can feel it. The woman is about to give birth to the baby, and even Jack is concerned now. "Mary, what's wrong? Are you okay? Tell me you're not here, not now." "I am, Joseph, but like it or not, the baby is coming tonight." After several hours and a lot more sweat and groaning, Mary gives birth to the man-child whom she immediately calls Jesus. Jack is in awe. He's never seen anything so horrible and beautiful and mysterious and wonderful in his entire life. He's also never seen a woman give birth to a baby. For the first time in Jack's life, he is drawn to this human, and a baby at that. The man-child is lying in a makeshift manger. For heaven's sake, it's the feeding trough that Jack ate out of just hours before. But the last thing Jack is thinking about now is food. I don't think he's hungry anymore. What do you think? Well, a couple of hours later, and beyond Jack's wildest imaginations, the not-so-tidy barn is filled with not-so-tidy shepherds. Besides smelling like they haven't bathed in weeks, these men and boys can hardly stop talking about something that startled them. They think it's angels, a bunch of angels who appeared to them from the heavens. Jack shakes his head as he swats at a fly with his tail, and he wonders, who is this child? When the shepherds turn to leave, a shepherd boy with piercing blue eyes stops to rub Jack's nose and ears. The boy looked right at Jack and said, "My fine donkey friend, I bet you have quite a story to tell, don't you?" Jack couldn't hold back as he spoke to a human for the first and last time in his life. Jack said, "For days, I carried a burden that I resented. The woman never complained, but she couldn't sit still. She wiggled and, kind of like you're wiggling right now, wiggled and jiggled and adjusted on my back again and again. She was kind to me, and she often spoke tender words to encourage me. but I very much disliked her presence on my back and her weight. It just was too much. Oddly, the shepherd boy, who seemed like he was used to talking to donkeys, just smiled and said, well, tell me more. Now, continued Jack at a whisper, now I'm aware that sometimes we must carry a burden. Sometimes someone else's burden has to be carried. And if we watch and wait, a miracle is on the other side of our struggle. This one, whom I had the honor to bear, is someone I know in my knower who will one day carry the weight of the world. The boy, perhaps not a boy, but an angelic visitor. Maybe he was an angel in disguise. What do you think? It's possible. He leaned in and he whispered into Jack's ear, for unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Jack was speechless. He didn't know what to say. You would be too. Perhaps you're carrying a great burden. Maybe it's something that makes you uncomfortable, or it might even hurt you. And like Jack, your attitude isn't so good right now. Ever had a bad attitude? Yeah, just a little one once in a while. But what if your present trouble becomes a future blessing that someday changes others and you for good? What if that person you view as a bothersome inconvenience is destined for greatness? What if, and I don't think we need a donkey or an angel to tell us this, but what if your current suffering is a miracle in the making? Something to think about, huh? The end. You guys like the story?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I liked it too. Thanks for reading it with me.